welcome back to game number 3 of tonight's Riot Trios. This is the final match of tonight, and we are now in Sandhawk. Again, I'm joined by the lovely Deathly Hallows Jammy.
Evening.
And we have a southern to northwestern flight path, starting off at Sami and ending up at Mong Nai. Jammy, we're seeing a lot of teams jumping.
Yeah, we've had a lot of early jumps. Obviously, Sandhawk, you don't get a lot of chance to jump because it's such a small map. I have to comment on the beautiful dancing from Welshie, Revolt and Tango. We did catch that on camera. But we've got a couple of teams gone over down to the southwest to Tambang, teams 16 and 20. We've got a couple of teams at least in Hainan. So we're probably going to get some early action. We've also got a few teams in Boot Camp, Camp Bravo, Paradise. Actually, it looks like maybe only one team in Paradise.
And just in relation to Welshie's dancing, I do believe you refer to them as the Shit Village people.
They are. It was like a Shit Village people tribute. And Welshie, well done. You're being brave. You're wearing a Yeti costume on Sandhawk, so there's no sleep for you for a change.
And saying that, we have already got some knocks at Boot Camp with Risk Hady getting a knock and a kill.
Yeah, some good early action. Unfortunately, I was watching Hainan where we've got a couple of teams, but they seem to spread out across either side of the river. So we've got Salty Snakes and Riot over at Hainan. And Grassroots again. They've gone very split. They've got a compound each. Very confident then. So they're between Hainan and Boot Camp. We've got a western zone, so it looks like the western island might be in play for this. So with Paradise and the teams around the northeast, they're going to have to travel in.
And I'm still over at Boot Camp. We're seeing Team 21 Hard Shift going up against Team 24 The Paradox.
Right, get over it. It's just taken out Fingod, knocked and thirsted. So we've got Fuji and Avery at the other end of Hainan with Riot Ghosts.
And how can I say no to that? I'm now with you watching Avery.
Northie taking out Effie, Yemeni. I can't remember the name, sorry.
Oh, Imani.
Yemani, sorry. Apologies. We've got some action in Camp Bravo. I'm just going to switch over there. In fact, all of Effie have been taken out by the Zen team over in Camp Bravo. So that was a very quick burst of action. It's all over.
But saying that...
But Avery takes out Ghost Jr. Knocked and thirsted. Ghost gets some shots into Fuji, but doesn't quite connect for the knock. So get over it, stuck over on his own at that side of the river.
But as we've mentioned before, the splits can be really useful in particular circumstances. But now, do you think it's going to come back to haunt them?
Definitely, because a split can be useful, but when you've got a situation like this where he's stuck one side of the river, it means that if Get Over It does get knocked, he can't react immediately. And also, it's a very open space to get over the river if he tries to get over for the revive. That is, of course, if Salty Snakes do take out Get Over It.
But in saying that, game 1, we saw a brilliant finish from the Zen team. Game number 2, we saw Jen win it. And if I'm honest, I didn't see it coming. Game 3, what are you thinking?
Right now, I think this could be... I've got to be honest, Grassroots are fairly centre zone. They take a compound each, which means they get plenty of loot each. Get Over It taking shots. But both the Riot guys are both on the same side now. So we've got a straight 2 on 2. Get Over It takes down Fuji. So we've got a 2v1. Avery's here. Oh, Avery takes down Get Over It. And takes down Ghost as well. So some excellent gunplay from Avery. And gets the revive on Fuji. But also, if you look into the northwest island at Camp Alpha, you've got the DH team, Team 15. They've actually rotated from ruins all the way up there, so they've gone through all those compounds, so they should be pretty well looted now. Seven Atoms team at Hartin, Team 18, have had a flare drop had a drop, and there's another drop coming as well between the two teams. So it'll be interesting to see if they push for that, or whether Team 15 stay on the high ground at Camp Alpha.
Guarantee that Welshie will.
Welshie does like a drop.
He loves an AWM, our Welshie.
He does.
But
I'm just trying to see where we've got any action at the moment, and it's a little bit spread out, which is a surprise, although we've got Team 4, Team 13 very close to each other. So we've got the Zen team with Venom. Venom takes down Jen Shax. So he gets knocked and goes for the thirst as well. Venom's on his own, having already lost Lotus and Missy. Malice there gets some excellent shots onto Venom, very nearly takes him down. Gets him down to about 10% health. Venom getting the first aid in though. Malice pushing Jen Darshan, sitting back slightly.
And Jen Darshan is there with some great cover, but unfortunately that tree just in front blocks the view from the right side of Venom. Grenade goes in, but doesn't hit the target.
Venom cooking an aid now, just trying to drop it down onto Malice. Oh, takes a bit of health from Malice. Darshan trying to cover there, but like you say, they're each behind a rock, but there is a tree in between as well. Now there's another nade, I think. No, Venom going with another nade, but Malice has already rotated away from there. I think maybe Venom doesn't know where Darshan is. Knows where Venom was, but not anymore. So Venom's managing to Malice rotating round.
And keep in mind that Missy and Lotus have both been taken out. But I think Venom is a player that is more than capable of taking on two players by himself.
Venom at the moment is actually rotating out, deciding that maybe not rotating away from the fight completely, but certainly just rotating around just to try and get maybe a better angle, or maybe just so they don't realise where he is.
And I think more than that, I don't think Venom knew where Darshan was. So by retreating back, he's forcing them to make a move forward so that he can get the location.
So he's got the Tommy gun, so he's got 50 rounds, he's got the extra clip. So he's very capable of doing this, but gets taken down by Malice. Now we've got some action here in Painan with Salty Snakes getting into it with the DH team, and they've actually just taken out Paige, KJ and Buffy. Welsh has just been knocked over in Camp Alpha, and exactly what we said, they did go for the flare for the drop. So it looks like Team 18 have actually got some knock into DH.
But luckily, it looks as though Team 15 DH have had that height advantage, so Welsh was able to be revived there without much issue.
Yep. So current spectators and revolt is getting some shots in, but also taking quite a bit of damage there. So yeah, they've got a nice high ground. It looks like the zone, so that northwestern island, as I said. So they might be getting into a fight now, but what they haven't got to do is rotate. Team 16 in a boat, rotating round on the very west.
And of course, we still have Rendezvous Snout, who is still alive. And as we mentioned across our games, he is the most wanted player. So if he is killed, the team that kills him will get a bonus of 4 points.
Yep. So it looks like, I'm trying to see, if Welsh's got the AWM, we've also got 7 Atom Snipes has also got an AWM as well. So
he hasn't got an AWM, he's got an M24.
Actually is here. Snipes very open running across the road there. Taking shots from Team 15. He's trying to go with an M4 and a red dot just to put some cover fire down for himself. Pretty brave running across that road with no smokes or anything. Team 16 have finished their boat rotation by the looks of it, and they're coming into the very north of the Northwest Island. Team 7 swimming across the channel at the very north, up by Hartin. It looks like we've got Team 3 and Team 10, Riot and Jen, either side of the river, looking at whether they can use the bridge. And we have got a couple of teams over in boot camp as well.
And with our next zone, what are you thinking?
At the moment, sorry, I was just spectating over in boot camp. Sponge has just been knocked by Team 9. At the moment, if this finishes with the Northwest Island, with the hills, if you can get the high ground on there, that's a huge advantage over there. But also, if you can watch the coasts, because people often swim across the short channel, or the narrow channel there.
And as we have just seen, Team 16 Rendezvous took advantage of that water. So you think that other teams might do the same?
I think it's a bit late now. There's nowhere really they can rotate from. They've gone for placement there. They've gone for a very safe option. Having said that, it's very easy to get blown up in one of those boats. It doesn't take a lot of shots to blow one up. We've got Team 18 and Team 15 are very close to each other now. Team 18 have pushed up towards the hill. But it looks like Team 15 have got the overwatch on them.
And here we go. We might now see the MT49 in play. Revolt is down.
So Zen Mustang is not Matsu.
Oh.
So Ascend and Kenzo pushing up now.
Well, she just knocked by great grenade.
Yep. So they get taken out now. That's the DH team taken out by 7 Atoms. And they had a really good position there. And that puts 7 Atoms in a great position because they've got 2 AWMs between them now. And they've got the high ground.
I think what knocked Deathly Hallows there was that Revolt was down the bottom of that mountain.
Yeah.
And by knocking him, it then meant it was a 3 against 2. And then they just pushed, and there was pressure against pressure, and just Deathly Hallows couldn't meet it.
Yeah. So I'm just looking now, sorry, we've still got boot camp. So although we have the knock and the push in boot camp, they're still very close. So we've still got 3 on 3. Hardman has just taken down Sharp. Rapid takes down Hardman. So we've got a bit of a 1v2 over in boot camp now. So Rapid thirsts up Hardman. There we go. So that's Team 21 taken out, I believe. No, sorry, they've still got one. They've still got Spartan in the game.
And now you've been mentioning a word.
Go on.
And that is thirsting.
Yeah.
Now, some players don't like it, some do. Good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on the situation. If you've knocked someone and they're perhaps in open ground and you know their team are nearby, then actually you might want to leave them and almost use them as bait. Whether they can then head towards their team or their team can get towards them. And you can use it to draw out the other players, or it can actually help identify where the rest of the team is because they might crawl towards their team to get revived. Spartan there with a great knock on Rapid. They're all trying to rotate from boot camp here, but then pressure from the blue, getting a huge amount of rounds in here. I think Spartan might actually be on to a loser here, and there we go, taken out by Hedy from Risk. So yeah, and sometimes you just want to clear the players out and get the kill.
But now what we're seeing is that Risk might be at a slight disadvantage as they now have a huge amount of water they need to cross to get to the other side.
They do. There isn't anyone directly opposite them though, and they're not being pushed by zone because they're currently in the zone already. So they're not going to get the blue zone while they're swimming, and there's no one on the other shore. So a lot of teams have already rotated, which actually is working in their favour because the other teams are working towards centre zone. So you've got teams 16 and 18 together on the high ground where they had the sniper battle before. Team 9 are actually going with the buggy, which is unusual on Sandhawk. You don't see a lot of vehicle action on Sandhawk. Just looking at Rapid here from Team 9, I think they're trying to share out some meds because they're all quite low. One of the effects of going into a hot drop at boot camp, you might get some kills, and they've got 5 team kills, but they're coming out of it a bit battered and bruised and with no meds.
Now I am having a quick look at Team 18 7 Atoms going up against Team 16 Rendezvous. Snout has been knocked, so if 7 Atoms are able to get the kill here, they will get a bonus 4 points. And that is Supreme down 2. Snout has been revived by Junior.
Here comes Kenzo rotating around the side. And this is just a straight 3-on-3 battle. Because they're on the high ground, we've got no one else overlooking. Where we had in Miramar, we did have other players looking over. Junior takes down Snipes there. Sal takes down Kenzo. And actually gets the thirst on Kenzo. Ascend takes down Junior. So we've got knocks all over the place here.
And Snout jumps straight in and gets the finish on Ascend. So he's now going for the revive and Supreme first. Yeah. And we'll then go for Junior.
Unlike Miramar, we haven't got other players coming in for the third party because they're right at the top of the hill. Top of the hill, centre zone. They're looking quite good, actually. As long as they can get the meds and heal up from that gunfight, then they'll be in a good position. Now, we've got 17 and 22, Salty Snakes and Elusive, coming in just to the south of them. They're trying to get into the buildings just in zone. Nade's coming in from Fuji there. Doesn't quite connect. Takes a little bit of damage. Gives a little bit of damage even. And now it looks like they're either retreating or just making sure there's no one coming in from behind.
Oh, and Avery's taken down by Amzi.
Yeah. And Amzi gets taken down in return by Fuji. And Fuji nearly gets the first. And Fuji taken down there by Magni with some excellent Uzi work.
Now, the Uzi seems to have become more popular over the last couple of seasons. Do you think that might be because people just didn't realise how powerful it was? Or has Tencent done a bit of, arts and crafts with it, maybe?
They have. It's where you can add the stock, you can add the scope. It's really useful. You get an extended mag on there. And, okay, you might not be able to clear a whole squad with it. But up close and personal, there are very few guns, even some of the crate weapons that can compete with it, in terms of being able to kill a player quickly and get through armour. We've got Elusive here, getting into a fight with Risk. Risk Heady takes down Magni. Darshan's taken down Risk.
Oh!
Yep, got interrupted there, so that didn't last very long, actually. There's a bit of a third party there. We've got Zen Mustang and Northie coming in from the south behind the grassroots team of 23. And again, if you look, Zen, Saeed and Tora on their own in zone, looting quite happily. They've made some good rotations. They've got into good position without having to use a huge amount. They haven't got any team kills, but they've got plenty of meds. They've got tacticals. They're looking quite good here.
And now with some teams you see them try and get the kills as well as the placement points.
Yeah.
But do you think that is a disadvantage, trying to get both? It's kind of like trying to get your cake and eat it as such.
Yeah. You've got to be a really good gunfighter to go for aggressive, get the kill. Mustang there, I was just spectating Mustang. They're coming up behind the grassroots team with a beautiful nade there, nicely cooked, timed it perfectly to knock Xander. What they've done is they've left the other player, Northie, back slightly. He was providing some cover fire, so they didn't know where the guns were coming from. Mustang went a bit closer with the nades, so putting a couple of nades in just to, again, take some health, get some disruption in. And then I'm assuming Northie's going to follow up. Although the grassroots team, they've got revived, and they're going to push back again now. But Northie takes down Trippy.
Oh!
What a nade from Hippie Boy. Takes down Northie and Mustang in one nade.
Wow.
I was watching that, I didn't see it come in. You just heard the nade land, and immediately that was the perfect aim and perfectly timed as well. So we're down to 3 teams, all with 3 players. Team 7, so all 3 teams are roughly in the zone. Team 7 have rotated from the west. I'm just wondering how much they know about each other's position, because they would have heard a bit of gunfire before, but everyone's rotated since then.
Oh, look at that zone.
Team 7, once again, through luck or judgment, have ended up in zone. So now we've got Jen going up against Team 10 going against Team 16. Supreme takes down Temp. with the M249. Again, the squad work. Junior takes down Nick. And Supreme comes in to finish it off, right? So we've now got our final two. We've got Team 7 from Zen and Team 16 from, remind me?
Rendezvous,
thank you. So Team 7 nicely in zone. Team 16 with not a long way to go.
but they have got the height.
They have got the height.
To a point, at least.
Yeah. And I think they're doing okay for their tacticals. Even though they've been in a gunfight, they've got 12 team kills, Rendezvous. Junior takes down Tora. 12 team kills in this sort of lobby is pretty good going. And obviously they're getting good placement points now as well. Currently Snout is above Faceless and Saeed. I think we've got a nade about to come in on Faceless by the looks of it. No. Saeed takes down Supreme. And there we go.
Oh,
Rendezvous.
wow.
Rendezvous with the final win.
Brilliant play.
15 kills.
Brilliant play from Rendezvous. Obviously, Rendezvous Snout was the bounty for this game. And as a result of him not being killed, no teams will win the bonus 4 points. So Rendezvous come in first place with an impressive 15 kills. We have Zen in second with 1. We have Jen in third with none. We have Grassroots in fourth with 2. Jen in fifth with 4. Zen in sixth with 6. And Risk in seventh with 8 kills. Jammy, for your first co-commentary, how has it been?
It's been great. Sometimes, the action was exciting. Sometimes I couldn't keep up. But it's fun to actually watch the action. It's quite nice to see it happen and know that I'm not the one getting shot.
Oh, bless you. But that is all for tonight. You have been watching the Riot Trio Scrims on a Monday, the Bounty Hunter edition. I am Abs and I've been joined by the incredible Jammy from Deathly Hallows. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. So all that is left for me to say tonight is, as always, please take care, stay safe, and we will see you the same time next week for more fun and games. So good night, guys, and thank you very much for watching.